Hi traders, welcome to my video on the Magic Trend Indicator. Stick around and I'm going to show you how you can capture moves such as this one for over 300 pips on the pound dollar. You can use the Magic Trend Indicator on any trading instrument, whether that's Forex, crypto, stocks, commodities, indices, etc. And you can also use it on any chart time frame. This is a 1 hour chart. Reason I'm using a 1 hour chart is because I prefer the higher chart time frames, as I find the signals tend to be more reliable. It doesn't just apply to the trend magic indicator, but indicators in general. Same applies to price action analysis, candlestick patterns. I like to stick to the 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly, and monthly charts. That being said, you can use this indicator on any chart time frame that you wish, including the 5-minute and the 15-minute chart. It's just the signals might not be as reliable. Okay, so you can see the magic trend indicator here on the chart. It's this line here. So it's basically telling us the trend direction. When the indicator is red, it suggests the trend is down. When the indicator is blue, it suggests the trend is up. Okay, good thing about this indicator is it also highlights some support and resistance areas. Tries to do this dynamically. I'll be honest, I don't think it does a great job. I mean, that may be a bit harsh, but I just prefer to mark my own support and resistance levels. It doesn't take a minute to do, and you can see things that perhaps an indicator won't. For example, I would say that this is a support level here. Okay, you can see this level of support, price went up, back down, you formed a nice, in fact, it goes back as far as here. Got an M chart pattern and a breakout on the downside there. The indicator didn't pick this up. Perhaps he's trying to react quicker to the support and resistance, but I just prefer to draw my own lines for that purpose. Another thing about this indicator is I would not trade it every time it changes color. I mean, you may be looking at it thinking, okay, when it's red, I'll place a buy trade, and when it's blue, when it's red, I'll place a sell trade, and when it turns blue, I'll place a buy trade. And it's red, I'll sell, blue, I'll buy. Okay, if you do that every time, when the market is ranging, you're just going to get whipsawed in and out of the market. Okay, here, if you sold here when it turned red, price shoots up. If you bought here when it turned blue, okay, price does go up slightly, but then it also falls back down. And there'll be plenty of instances in a ranging market where the indicator will be delayed and lagging. Here's another example. It's turning blue, it's turning red, it's turning blue, it's turning red. What are we doing? Who knows? So the way I would like to use this indicator is to first wait for an obvious trend to form. Okay, that just makes life a lot easier. A trend is your friend. And it's simple to do. If we just take this area of consolidation here, we're ignoring these signals because we're not in an overall long-term trend. We're going to wait for a trend. So we're going to draw our support, our resistance, and then we have a breakout up here. You see that there? Textbook breakout to the upside, and the trend starts to gain momentum. To be fair, the magic trend indicator shows you this. It's blue. We're in an uptrend. Doesn't mean you just buy and jump in straight away. That being said, there are ample opportunities to enter on here without needing this indicator. In fact, you don't even need the indicator at all to trade this trend. You can just draw your trend line. You can see that the market's moving up. It's broken the resistance. We could have entered on the breakout there. We could have waited for the breakout, the pullback, and entered on the breakout here. Okay. We didn't need the indicator to take that trade. In fact, the indicator could have been used as a level of support, to be fair. And once you've seen that the support level was holding and price moved away, that could have been a signal based on using this indicator. But again, you can draw your own levels of support and resistance. We see the uptrends continued, have this nice area of resistance and a breakout there. If I zoom in, see this resistance in line with the uptrend, has a breakout, then the resistance becomes support here. In fact, even to here. So an entry on this breakout here would have been a good entry. We didn't need the magic trend indicator to tell us that at all. We can see that the market is making higher lows. Got a nice wedge formation and a breakout to the upside. That being said, I appreciate some traders like fancy, colorful things on their charts. So if you just want to use the indicator to tell you what you can see anyway by looking at the chart, then that's up to you. And you could always to be fair, use this as a level of support if you want to trade off the support level. But it's not really telling us about resistance, which for me, if you want to enter into a trade, into a trend like this one, you want to enter in on a breakout. Okay, you could argue you could enter on the pullback to the support level, but sometimes price will continue to pull back like here, okay, and go in the opposite direction. All right. So as I said, if we just zoom back out, the indicator would have perhaps kept us out of some obvious early opportunities in this particular trend. But to be fair, if you wait for it to turn red in a strong uptrend like this one, okay, this can be considered a strong pullback. Okay, and then when it turns blue, again, could be the entry point, and blue and also facing upwards as well, because you can see it turned blue here, but it's flat. Okay, so when it turns blue and heads in an upwards direction, it means that we're making higher lows. Just as back here, you could have timed the entry if you wanted to trade when it was blue without waiting for it to change back to the other color and then back again. You could wait for it to become flat or head in the other direction, which is suggesting market consolidation, and then trade when it turns in an upwards trajectory. Problem with that is it won't be right every time. For example, here you're going to be buying quite high. I mean, there's still plenty of juice left in the tank, but you could have been in earlier around here. Okay. So if you wait for it to turn red and have a significant pullback, then once we see it heading in the other direction, turns upwards, turns blue, that could be an entry point around here, and still over 200 pips available in this move. In fact, had you got in early around the first breakout, you'd be looking around 350 pips. You can, of course, use a trailing stop as price is moving up. Just place your stop loss below the lows, recent lows, okay? Locking in profit on the way up, maximizing the move as much as possible. I like to cut losing trades short. In this instance, if we traded this breakout here, I just have my stop loss below the low there, so around 15 odd pips. Because I know eventually I can catch a big trend like this one, 300 pips, and you know, if you average a 15 pip stop loss, you can afford a few losses just knowing that when you do finally capture that trend, you're going to make up for it and more. Whereas if you have a wider stop loss and smaller take profit, you know, you're just going to be battling with yourself, and you just need a really high win rate in that instance, which is difficult. Okay, just to reiterate on that point, if you had a let's say 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, so your winners are twice your losers. If you placed your stop loss here, 15 pips, and then you hit your risk to reward ratio here, you 30 pips profit, yes, 2-to-1. Look how much you would have left on the table. I mean, you'd be devastated to watch this move play out and have exited so early. That being said, you can re-enter. It's just when you re-enter, you risk being wrong again, and you also have to pay your broker's fees, spreads, commission, potential slippage. And it also means more time chart watching. I prefer to get in early on a big move or as early as possible and milk it as much as possible. Okay, so the magic trend indicator can be good when used in trending markets, in my humble opinion. But you do need to time your entry. You can use candlestick patterns, pullbacks as well, support and resistance, and even an upwards turn of the trend line if you are trading an uptrend or downwards for a downtrend. What I wouldn't do is looking at the bigger picture and seeing this is an uptrend. I wouldn't be taking the sell signals here and here. Okay, granted, you can do a cheeky reversal trade on the pullback, but I'm not going to trade against the trend. Okay. Same principle applies to this. You can see we're in a downtrend here. So indicator is red. Let's have a look. Okay, potential entry on the breakout here. Indicators turned down red, or you can wait for the trend to first form. Okay, have a pullback here. This is a slight pullback, and then enter when it changes color again and drops. So around here as well, That would probably be more of a favorable entry simply because of the level of support. Gonna want to breach on the pullback there. So we have a pullback up here, turns blue, turns red again. We know there's a level of support, so we can wait to time our entry there, which coincides nicely with the trend magic indicator, turn into the downside, and a breakout of this support level. Not to mention the overall trend is down, plus we are making lower highs here. So we're looking at the overall picture and the short to midterm picture as well, just for extra confirmation. You can of course go up to higher chart time frames to look at the even longer term picture. And some traders, this is the 1 hour chart, as I said, you might want to go down to the 15-minute, even the 5-minute, just to sniper a more fine-tuned entry. I just prefer less time analyzing charts for less reliable signals, in my opinion. Okay. So that's the end potential entry there. Again, trend magic indicator turns blue. Possible entry when it turns red. Which also, like our previous trade, coincides nicely with a support level breakout. Okay, again, you wouldn't necessarily need the trend indicator to take any of these trades. I personally don't rely on technical indicators, and I wouldn't go out of my way to get this indicator to use every day in my strategy. But for the purpose of this video, I think you kind of get the gist. I mean, if I took that away from the chart, you could mark your trend lines and your support and resistance levels, look out for candlestick patterns, and happily trade away and you know, take advantage of such trends without relying on potentially lagging indicators. I do like the fact, however, it does implement trends with support and resistance levels. It's just make the effort to do it yourself would be my opinion. Okay, nice strong uptrend. Lots and lots of opportunity here. I mean, you can trade breakouts all the way up. I'm not even looking at the trend magic indicator. I'm just marking the levels. There's loads of breakout opportunities on here. It's a nice trend. Prices, perhaps you're going to want to wait for the pullback on that one. Pullback. By now we're maybe exhausting the trend a bit. We can see how the market is risen significantly already. They don't want to get in too late, especially when there's all this opportunity, ample opportunity down here. I mean, even earlier on when they had that clear, let's take it back to there, that clear breakout there of the high. As amplified by that big candle up there, could have waited for the pullback, and again the turning up of the magic trend indicator. As well with the indicator, when, as I said, just to reiterate, when it changes from one color to the other, it can signify a pullback. So we know we're in an uptrend here. Turns red, that's the pullback, and then when it turns blue, that could be an entry point. Okay. The only thing is, it doesn't happen. That's the only time it happens on this move. So if you just rely solely on that, you're going to miss out on all these potential opportunities. Okay. So really, how would I use this? If I had to use it, gun to my head, I would use it for just a pretty way to tell me what I can see by looking at the chart anyway. And the support levels and resistance levels, yeah, I get that. It's just not really helping with time in entry for me. Most important would be price action and good money management, you know. If we got in again, just to give you an example, if we got in on this breakout here, nice stop loss just around 15 pips below the low there, you got profit potential of over 400 pips. I mean, why on earth would you just jump out for, oh, a 50 pip profit? Yes, fantastic. You know, that's good, but you're leaving a lot on the table. Once you're in a good trade, lock it in at break even, trial the price, close some of the position if you want on the way up. That's fine. But let some run and just try to maximize moves as much as possible. Okay. Well, hopefully that's given you an idea of how you can use the trend magic indicator. I mean, there are clues in the name trend, so I would use it in trending markets. I wouldn't be trying to use it in rangy, choppy markets. Well, hopefully you found something useful in this video. If you can please like and subscribe for more, and I hope to catch you on the next one.